Gunfire echoes through the quiet hills, and a macaque monkey drops to the ground. Scenes like this have become increasingly common across rural Japan, where farmers and hunters join forces to tackle the surge of these destructive animals. What once seemed like an isolated problem has now grown into a nationwide struggle to protect crops and livelihoods. Every year, macaques inflict billions of dollars in agricultural damage, raiding fields and destroying entire harvests in minutes. To combat the crisis, rifle hunting and steel cage traps remain the primary tools of control. In 2023 alone, over 18,000 macaques were culled, a staggering figure that reflects just how severe the situation has become. Since the late 1980s, Japan's macaque population has skyrocketed, turning a once thriving species into a serious agricultural threat. Rapid urban growth and widespread deforestation have pushed wild macaques out of their natural habitats and into human communities. Over the past few years, these animals have raided farms, destroyed crops, and inflicted massive financial losses on local farmers. The problem doesn't stop there. Macaques have also turned aggressive toward people, attacking tourists on beaches and scaring residents in small towns. In 2023 alone, more than 85 people were injured, several of them women who suffered deep scratches and bites. As the situation worsens, Japan has turned to hunting as a necessary method of population control. Skilled hunters now patrol the wooded hills surrounding rural areas, working to protect residents and restore balance between humans and wildlife. Their mission isn't just about reducing numbers, it's about safeguarding communities and preserving peace in the countryside. To catch the macaques, hunters strategically set traps baited with bananas, apples, or corn, irresistible treats for the curious primates. From camouflaged huts, they wait in silence, blending into the landscape as they track every sound and movement. Many prefer crossbows over rifles, as the quieter shots prevent alarming nearby troops and improve their chances of capturing more animals before the group scatters. On a typical day, an experienced hunter might capture 4 or 5 macaques, while true experts can take down as many as 8 or 9 in a single outing. Adult macaques, weighing up to 60 pounds and standing nearly 4 feet tall, are strong and unpredictable, making them difficult and often dangerous to handle. In denser forests, where large troops roam together, hunters turn to rifles for efficiency and safety, ensuring they can manage the population without unnecessary risk. Hunters scan the treetops with precision, searching for movement or the sharp cries that give away a macaque's position. Every step is calculated, too much noise, and the troop vanishes into the forest. Most rely on semi-automatic rifles chambered in .270 or .308, prized for their accuracy and stopping power. These calibers ensure clean, efficient shots that minimize the animal's suffering and uphold ethical hunting standards. Depending on the terrain and the hunter's skill, the ideal shooting range falls between 165 and 275 yards. Each shot is deliberate, aimed at the chest or head to guarantee a swift, humane kill. Japan enforces strict wildlife regulations. Only adult macaques may be targeted, while infants and pregnant females are fully protected. These measures are designed to strike a balance, controlling the population without disrupting the fragile ecosystem that both humans and wildlife depend on. Each year, Japan authorizes the hunting of around 18,000 macaques, a figure closely regulated to strike a balance between protecting communities and preserving wildlife. These limits help reduce human-animal conflicts while ensuring the population remains stable and sustainable. Alongside hunting, many regions have turned to more humane capture methods. One of the most effective is the use of large steel cage traps, capable of safely containing several macaques at once. Measuring roughly 15 feet long, 10 feet wide, and 8 feet high, these traps are designed for both safety and efficiency. Hunters bait them with sweet, fragrant fruits like bananas, apples, or melons. The moment a macaque steps on the trigger plate, the door snaps shut smoothly and quietly, trapping the animals without causing panic or alarming the rest of the troop nearby. These traps are typically placed along the edges of villages or near fruit orchards, the hotspots where macaques are most active and destructive. When properly positioned, a single trap can capture 4 to 6 animals at once, making it one of the most effective and least distressing methods of population control compared to hunting. But it raises an important question. Are hunting and trapping truly the best solutions to Japan's growing macaque problem? Or could there be a more humane, long-term approach to restoring balance between humans and wildlife? Share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear what you think. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. This has been the ongoing story of Japan's exploding monkey population, a challenge that's testing the balance between people and nature. So here's a question for you. What would you do if a similar monkey crisis happened in your country? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your take. And as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more real-life wildlife stories from around the world. Thanks for watching. In Alaska, encounters between humans and bears aren't just thrilling tales from the wild. They're an ongoing reality that affects both city suburbs and remote frontiers. Black and grizzly bears, known for their strength, intelligence, and unmatched sense of smell, have learned to adapt to the changing availability of natural food. When berries run dry or salmon runs decline, these powerful animals venture closer to human settlements in search of easy meals. The result is a growing challenge for residents, wildlife officers, and hunters who must find smarter, safer ways to keep both people and bears out of danger. Most of these conflicts occur in semi-urban zones where homes back up to forests, rivers, or migration routes. Drawn by the scent of garbage, pet food, or improperly stored meat and fish, bears can become relentless in their search for food, breaking through doors, windows, and even walls. The damage they leave behind isn't just frightening, it's expensive. Property owners often face repair bills that climb into the tens of thousands of dollars, turning what was once a quiet Alaskan neighborhood into a costly battleground between man and nature. When surprised, bears can become dangerously aggressive, and hunters who stumble upon them while tracking their game are among the most at risk. In those critical moments, calm and practiced reactions can make all the difference. Experts recommend creating loud, startling noises, shouting, clapping, or using any sound that signals human presence, while slowly backing away. This approach helps reassure the bear that you're not prey, giving it the space to retreat and de-escalating what could otherwise turn into a deadly encounter. Another vital line of defense is bear spray, now considered standard gear for hunters and anyone exploring Alaska's backcountry. Unlike firearms, which demand accuracy and can easily worsen a confrontation, bear spray offers a safer, non-lethal way to stop a charging bear. It temporarily disorients the animal, buying precious seconds to escape. According to Alaska's wildlife officials, injuries from bear encounters have steadily declined in recent years, a testament to the effectiveness of non-lethal deterrence and growing public awareness of how to coexist safely with these powerful creatures. To reduce the risk of bear attacks near populated areas, Alaska has introduced carefully regulated hunting and population control programs. In select regions, these managed hunts are conducted under strict state oversight to maintain a balance between public safety and wildlife conservation. Only licensed hunters who meet specific qualifications are allowed to participate, and they must follow clearly defined limits on where, when, and how they can hunt. The goal isn't to eliminate bears, but to responsibly manage their numbers and minimize dangerous encounters around human settlements. That in recent years, training standards for licensed hunters have also become far more demanding. Many certification programs now include extensive scenario-based instruction, often involving dozens of hours of hands-on practice. Participants learn how to recognize a bear's warning signals, distinguish defensive behavior from aggression, and make split-second decisions about when to back away or take controlled action. These realistic drills help hunters develop the calm judgment and discipline needed to handle high-stress situations safely and effectively in Alaska's unpredictable wilderness. Many hunters in Alaska depend on precision long-range rifles to stay safe when facing big game. Thanks to advanced optics and high-performance cartridges, a skilled marksman can take a clean, accurate shot from a safe distance, neutralizing a potential threat before it gets too close. This approach reduces risk for both the hunter and their companions. However, long-range hunting isn't just about pulling the trigger. It requires patience, focus, and expert judgment. Every shot must be carefully calculated to ensure accuracy, minimize suffering, and prevent dangerous situations caused by wounded animals escaping into the wild. Hunting dogs also play an important role in bear management across Alaska. Specially trained dogs assist in locating, tracking, and sometimes cornering bears, taking on tasks that would be far more dangerous and exhausting for humans alone. To maintain safety and ethical standards, professional organizations set strict guidelines for these hunts. Dogs undergo months of rigorous scent detection and obedience training, while handlers must demonstrate proven experience before leading dog-assisted expeditions. The partnership between skilled dogs and experienced hunters adds both precision and protection to the challenging work of managing Alaska's bear population. Alaska's bear management strategy goes far beyond hunting. It's about building a long-term balance between human safety and wildlife conservation. The state's goal is to reduce dangerous encounters while keeping bear populations healthy and ecosystems stable. Through public education, the use of non-lethal deterrents, carefully regulated hunts, and intensive hunter training, Alaska continues to refine its approach to living responsibly alongside these powerful animals. Just as importantly, community cooperation remains at the heart of the effort, ensuring that residents, hunters, and wildlife officials work together to protect both people and bears for generations to come. If you'd like, I can adjust this piece further for a specific audience, whether that's a wildlife magazine, a hunting publication, or an informational brochure for local communities, to match the tone and focus you're aiming for. Which direction would you like to take it? Welcome to Northwoods Pursuit, where urban wildlife gets real. Baboons are no longer just jungle dwellers. They're raiding homes, wrecking property, and spreading disease across U.S. cities. Florida alone saw a jump from 15 break-ins in 2011 to over 1,500 by 2014. It's time to fight back. We're bringing you real solutions, wild encounters, and the truth behind the chaos. Like what you see? Hit subscribe and join the pursuit. In Broward County alone, the baboon population once soared past 50,000, pushing authorities to take drastic action. When non-lethal methods failed, officials turned to firearms as a last resort solution. In response, the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, FWC, rolled out strict hunting regulations to keep things safe and controlled. A statewide license became mandatory. Hunting was limited to a January to March window, and every hunter is now required to report kills within 7 days after the season, or risk steep consequences, including a 5-year hunting ban. To make sure the job is done responsibly, mandatory firearms training is now part of the process. Hunters are trained to use advanced tactics and modern equipment with precision. Keeping a safe distance, typically between 100 and 150 feet, not only boosts accuracy, but also ensures safety in the field. One standout tool has been the M3 impact gun, valued for its speed and reliability in close to mid-range encounters. Thanks to these efforts, Florida has seen a dramatic drop in baboon numbers, from 50,000 down to just 10,000. These focused efforts aren't just about protecting homes. They're about safeguarding Florida's fragile ecosystems and keeping the state's agricultural economy alive. As invasive species like baboons continue to spread, hunters are stepping up with advanced tactics that are changing the game. From high-tech camouflage to carefully coordinated teams, today's wildlife control is smarter, safer, and more effective than ever. Teams of 3 or more work together to cover more ground while maintaining safety and precision. Fruit bait is placed in key spots to draw baboons into the open, giving hunters a clear, ethical shot. Thanks to cutting-edge gear like high-precision scopes with zoom and tilt features, even tough conditions don't stand in the way. It's this blend of strategy, teamwork, and tech that's making a real impact on the front lines of Florida's wildlife crisis. To keep both people and native wildlife safe, Florida has banned night hunting under strict regulations. This thoughtful approach strikes a balance between effective population control and long-term conservation. Once baboon numbers are brought under control, hunting operations are expected to wind down, giving the ecosystem a chance to heal naturally. The state is also taking steps to ensure baboons aren't left vulnerable to other invasive predators during the transition. Still, not everything is black and white. Questions about health risks and the cultural controversy surrounding the consumption of baboon meat continue to stir debate. What do you think? Where should we draw the line between control and compassion? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you're passionate about wildlife, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to follow the mission. At Northwoods Pursuit, we believe responsible hunting isn't just a tradition. It's a tool for protecting our communities, our ecosystems, and our future. Controlling invasive species like baboons requires more than just grit. It demands training, ethics, and a deep respect for the natural world. As we face these new wildlife challenges together, it's up to all of us to stay informed, stay prepared, and stay united. If you care about conservation, strategy, and the raw reality of wildlife management, stick around. There's more to come. Hit that subscribe button and join us on the front lines, where every decision matters and every pursuit has a purpose. This video is for educational and awareness purposes. All scenes follow local laws and ethical hunting guidelines. Welcome to the channel where we dig deep into the battle against invasive species, right here in the US and around the globe. Imagine this: farmers, scientists, and wildlife pros joining forces, using smart technology and targeted strategies to defend our land. These aren't just backyard pests, we're talking about species that cause billions in agricultural damage every year. In 2022 alone, more than 20,000 invasive animals were responsibly removed to help protect our crops, our ecosystems, and the livelihoods of rural communities. Stick around as we break down the latest innovations in wildlife management, tackle tough questions. Across several urban areas, rival gangs of macaques are making headlines, and not in a good way. These bold invaders aren't just stealing food, they're clashing with locals and even launching attacks on unsuspecting pedestrians. Their rise traces back to the 1970s, when massive deforestation forced wildlife into closer contact with humans. That disruption sparked a macaque population explosion that's been rattling city life and draining local resources ever since. Now, communities on the front lines, especially those near urban forests, are stepping up. They're launching focused wildlife management efforts to protect residents, safeguard agriculture, and restore a healthier balance between nature and the neighborhoods it's creeping into. It's not just about keeping monkeys out of trash bins, it's about preserving harmony between people and the wild world around them. To manage the surge of invasive monkeys, experienced wildlife trackers have turned to stealth and strategy. They bait the landscape with irresistible treats, ripe bananas, crisp apples, carefully positioned to draw the animals in. Then, hidden in camouflage blinds that blend into the terrain, they wait silently. When the troops approach, hunters use quiet weapons like bows and arrows, avoiding loud noises that might startle the group or escalate chaos. This low-impact method isn't just about efficiency, it's about respect. Every step is designed to minimize stress on the animals while protecting the balance of local ecosystems. Still, even with skill and precision, the job is no walk in the park. A typical hunter may only capture 2 or 3 monkeys a day, while the most seasoned can manage 5 or 6. These aren't small creatures either. Adult macaques can grow nearly 3 feet tall and weigh up to 50 pounds. Tracking and capturing them takes serious strength, patience, and a deep commitment to humane wildlife management. Deep in the forests, skilled marksmen take a calculated approach to managing invasive monkey populations. Armed with bolt-action rifles, most commonly chambered in .223 or .243, they rely on patience, precision, and a deep understanding of animal behavior. From hidden vantage points, they scan the canopy, listening closely for the distinct calls of monkey troops before taking aim. Shooting from a controlled distance of 100 to 200 yards, they work to limit their impact on the surrounding environment. But it's not just about marksmanship, it's about ethics. These hunters follow strict guidelines to ensure humane outcomes, aiming for vital zones like the head or neck for a swift, clean kill. They target only fully mature monkeys, carefully avoiding pregnant females and younger animals to support ecological balance and biodiversity. It's a method rooted in both discipline and respect, one that blends precision with a long-term vision for the health of our forests. This careful, disciplined strategy is more than just population control. It's a commitment to animal welfare and responsible land stewardship. By blending modern techniques with deep respect for nature, hunters play a key role in preserving the balance of ecosystems that future generations depend on. That's why ethical hunting practices matter more than ever. It's not just about removing a threat, it's about doing so with care, integrity, and a long-term commitment to conservation. Responsible hunters and wildlife managers are stepping up as stewards of the land, using skill and restraint to protect our communities, our ecosystems, and the delicate balance that holds it all together. If you're passionate about preserving wild spaces and learning how modern conservation works in the real world, don't miss what's coming next. Hit subscribe, stay tuned, and join us in the next episode as we uncover more powerful stories from the front lines of invasive species control. This video is for educational and awareness purposes. All scenes follow local laws and ethical hunting guidelines. Hey folks, welcome to Northwoods Pursuit, where we track the unexpected wild stories unfolding in today's America. Believe it or not, one of the most surprising threats creeping into our cities isn't a coyote or a black bear, it's baboons. That's right. In 2024, the USDA reported over 1,000 incidents of these clever primates breaking into homes in search of food. What used to be an odd sighting is now a growing crisis. Are our traditional wildlife control methods enough? Or are we overdue for something smarter, tougher, and more adaptive? Today, we're diving into the heart of the issue, exploring how communities are standing up, fighting back, and finding new ways to reclaim their peace of mind. Stick around and drop a comment below. We'd love to hear your take and might even feature it in our next episode. Things are getting wild, literally. What started a few years ago with just a dozen or so curious baboon break-ins has exploded into over 1,500 cases reported in 2024. And these aren't your average backyard critters. Baboons are smart, strong, and fearless, and they're tearing up suburban neighborhoods. Homes have been ransacked, cars destroyed, and the total damage? An unbelievable $175 billion annually. But it's not just the mess they leave behind. Their droppings carry bacteria that can spread disease to humans, turning this into a public health concern. In Broward County alone, more than 500 baboons are believed to be roaming free. With traps and fences failing, some communities are going to extreme lengths, yes, even arming themselves, just to protect their homes and families. In response to the escalating baboon crisis, the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, FWC, has tightened the reins with strict new regulations. Anyone hoping to hunt these invasive primates must now obtain a statewide license and stick to a designated hunting season running from January through March. But this is an open season. It's a carefully controlled operation. Each hunter is required to report any baboon taken within 7 days. No excuses. Miss that window, and you could face serious consequences, including a 5-year suspension from all hunting activities in Florida. On top of that, participants are now required to complete a certified firearms safety course, ensuring every hunter knows how to handle their weapon with care, accuracy, and accountability before heading into the field. As the baboon population surged, Florida's hunters had to adapt fast, bringing smarter strategies and more advanced gear into play. Success hinges on precision, which means maintaining a safe yet effective range, typically between 100 and 150 feet, to minimize risk while ensuring clean, accurate shots. At the forefront of this effort is the Impact M3 air rifle, a cutting-edge tool praised for its speed, pinpoint accuracy, and reliability in close to mid-range scenarios. This powerful air rifle has proven to be a turning point in the fight, helping drive the baboon population down from over 5,000 to just around 1,000. But the benefits go beyond population control. These efforts are restoring balance to local ecosystems, shielding farmland from destruction, and protecting Florida's vital agricultural backbone. Controlling invasive species like baboons today isn't just about pulling the trigger. It's about thinking smarter, moving quieter, and working as a unit. Modern hunters are stepping up their game with high-tech camouflage that blends seamlessly into Florida's wild landscape, making it nearly impossible for these sharp-eyed primates to detect them. Bait traps, especially fruit-based lures, are strategically placed to draw baboons into more visible, controlled spaces where shots can be taken safely and cleanly. But the real game changer, teamwork. Hunters now operate in coordinated squads of 3 or more, using radios and hand signals to communicate, cover more ground, and keep everyone safe. It's no longer a solo pursuit. It's a carefully choreographed mission that's delivering real results. Technology is playing a critical role in turning the tide against Florida's baboon surge. Today's hunters rely on precision optics, scopes with adjustable zoom, tilt, and even thermal features to lock onto targets in dense brush or under unpredictable weather. But it's not just about the gear, it's about how it's used. Strict regulations are in place to ban nighttime hunting, helping protect other species and reduce the risk to nearby communities. This isn't about wiping baboons off the map. It's about restoring balance. Once the population is under control, the goal is to scale back hunting operations and let the ecosystem recover naturally. At the same time, wildlife officials are taking steps to make sure baboons don't fall victim to other invasive predators, keeping Florida's fragile environment in check for the long haul. Managing invasive species isn't just a numbers game. It opens up a bigger conversation about ethics, responsibility, and where we draw the line when it comes to controlling wildlife. Are we doing enough? Are we going too far? That's where your voice matters. We'd love to hear what you think about the moral side of these efforts. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're into real, unfiltered stories from the front lines of wildlife management, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Just a quick note, everything shown in this video follows local laws and ethical hunting standards. Our goal is to inform, not sensationalize, because awareness is the first step toward real solutions.